Prep TV. Today what we're going to be talking about is preparation before class and everything that goes into that, meaning why it's important, how do you do it, all that good stuff. But before we go ahead and jump into it, I just want to say that my name is Mackenzie Warren. I'm the founder of Mac School Prep, and video by video, my mission is to equip you with all the skills, all the knowledge you need to thrive throughout your high school career. Alrighty, without further ado, I just want to encourage you now to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a beat. With all that said, it's time, let's get it. Okay, so let's not waste any time addressing why it is even important to prepare before class. The short answer is doing so increases your chance of excelling and having success at school. And so the reality is that at the age you're at, your teachers aren't making it a priority to check that you're thoroughly doing your reading or completing your homework. Basically, more emphasis is placed on independent learning and independent study. To give you an example, because nowadays homework is so often a completion grade, it's up to you and only you to make sure that you're not only doing it correctly, but that you're also seeking help if there's something that you're struggling with or that you don't understand. Another reason that it's so important to prepare before class is because if you don't, you're putting yourself in a really disadvantageous position in which you're not set up to ask questions or participate in classroom dialogue. Some more food for thought is that not preparing for class is like having an insidious disease in which you don't necessarily experience the harmful effects in the short term, so I'm referencing reporting to class on a day-to-day basis, but you endure its wrath and detrimental consequences in the long term. So maybe at the end of the semester or at the end of the grading cycle when you have a major exam and you finally come to the realization about how far you've fallen behind and how you're going to have to play a really intense game of catch-up to even get back on track. Alrighty, so since we have addressed the main reasons for why it's so important to prepare before class, I want to go ahead and jump into the nitty-gritty aspects of how to prepare before going to class. The first thing is eat healthy snacks and meals that are going to give you the energy and the protein you need to keep your brain sharp, to maintain your focus, and to stay on track. Trust me when I say that solely running on coffee, sugar, and soda will only give you a false sense of satiation and rejuvenation, so try to stay away from that. Another tip I have for you is get enough sleep. That way you can ensure that you're refreshed and you're refueled for the next day's tasks and classes. Obviously, this means going to bed early if you're tired, taking naps, and certainly staying away from pulling all-nighters. And of course, I get it. All of us have different staminas. We all run on different amounts of sleep, but trying to aim for that recommended amount of 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night is going to make a world of a difference in increasing both your productivity and your efficiency. The third tip I have for you is recognize the signs that your body is giving you. My mom always tells me your body will let you know what it wants. And so, for example, when I'm hungry, my stomach growls. When I'm tired, my eyes get super heavy and they get red. And when I'm stressed, I break out in acne, have a permanent expression of worry and anxiety plastered on my face, and I get really crabby with everyone around me, even the people who are trying to help. So what I'm trying to tell you is if you can recognize your own unique signs of stress so that you can take steps to minimize that stress, maybe by exercising, maybe playing with your dogs or your cats, or maybe even talking with a family member or friend, you're gonna be so much better off because managing your stress and not letting it get out of control will not only improve your mood and your health, but it'll make it easier for you to focus, keep your composure, arrive at decisions, remember information, and think through things clearly, which are all the essential ingredients for achieving success in the classroom. And a little bit of a side note here, a simple way for you to reduce stress when it comes to your schoolwork is planning a homework schedule and managing your time wisely. That way, you're planning ahead, you're eating the elephant a little bit at a time, and you're not waiting until the last minute to do your work. Now, if you want more information on these strategies, be sure to check out my series on the PADSA process and also time management. Okay, returning back to the next tip I have for you when it comes to preparing before class, you want to make sure that you're understanding and familiarizing yourself with your teacher's expectations, which means attentively listening to them and accurately writing down all the assignments they're giving to you in your planner. You also want to make sure that you're doing all of your reading assignments. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-sentence blurb, a 3-page article, or a 100-page book. There should be no ifs, ands or buts about it, no excuses. You're gonna be so much better off in your future scholastic years if you get it in your head now that your teachers aren't just assigning reading for the fun of it. They actually do have a method to their madness and a purpose behind their actions. The reading that they're giving you is meant to advance and better your understanding of the topic at hand. That means that it's actually in your best interest to take the reading seriously and actually do it. I also suggest that to enhance your retention of the reading material, you should most definitely take notes, which you can hear more about in my series on the art of note-taking. But trust me, you're gonna find it super duper helpful when you're in class and you're like, I need my memory jogged on a certain topic, and then you have your notes right there to reference. Another side note is by doing your reading ahead of time, which means pacing yourself and not cramming, you'll consequently do so much better on classroom activities and will be a more engaged student because all of that information is super fresh in your mind. My next suggestion is do the homework problems in sets that you've been assigned. But by do them, I don't just mean go through the motions. I mean do them to the best of your abilities and aim for accuracy. For motivation, I suggest that you focus on the fact that homework is meant to give you the opportunity to practice, hone your skills in a particular area, and also determine what exactly you do and don't understand. That way you can ask questions about the ones you find challenging. And side note on that, don't wait to get help, because if you do, you're only gonna fall further and further behind the 8 ball, which you do not want. Now, speaking of asking questions, my next tip is that you make a list of questions that you can take to class to ask your teacher. If you do this, you're definitely gonna be setting yourself up for success because you're identifying the areas that you find confusing and then you're seeking help to gain clarification. Moving on to my next tip, I suggest that before class, you try to get involved in any study groups, any peer tutoring sessions that review course content and homework. That way, the next time you go to class, you're not lost, but rather you're ready for your teacher to take things to the next level and introduce more challenging, more stimulating content that's built on the information that you've already learned and already been previously exposed to. Before stepping foot into the classroom, you should also make it a priority to review any handouts that your teacher gave you. That way, you have a better idea of where things left off last class, and you also have a refresher of what exactly the objectives of your teacher are. Now, my last tip that I'm going to give should be a no-brainer, but I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I wanna make sure that I'm doing my due diligence in thoroughly explaining this topic. So you want to make sure that you're showing up to class on time, not only out of respect for your teacher and the course, but also to ensure that you're present for any announcements or scoop that you're going to need down the line. Okie dokie, with all of those strategies under your belt, what I challenge you to do now is to start implementing them and actually incorporating them into your normal day-to-day academic routine. Like I've said before, it's not just having knowledge that counts, but rather what you do with your knowledge is so much more important. In other words, in order for you to truly benefit and reap the most reward, you're going to have to apply the information that you learned today moving forward and not just keep it swirling around in your brain. And on that note, before I see you in the next video, what I need you to do is give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell so that you can stay in the loop with everything that I have to offer. Alrighty, I'll see you soon. Bye!